Harris Show. I am your host, Veronica L. Harris, and here with my co-host,
Gregory L. Harris, the big little brother.
Any job for you today?
Co-host, you said it.
Okay. And sometimes you have another job.
Co-pilot, co-author, co-MVP sometimes.
Co-MVP. Wow.
If you're an MVP.
Okay, fine. And today we have two guests with us today. We have two lovely guests. We first have Carmen Stanley.
Yeah.
Okay, and she will tell us about herself. I never like to steal a person's thunder. I'll let her do that. And then we also have a nice treat here, something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. We have Miss Tia S. Lewis, who is the granddaughter of our first track coach, Mr. Charles in Somerville, who I say next to my parents definitely helped mold me into the person that I am today. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I got without his help and guidance. So we're going to be talking to both of these young ladies today. And the topic that we're going to be discussing today is why we do sports, or the reasons that we do sports. The reasons that we do sports, or the reasons that we may get pushed into sports, things of that nature. So that's what we're going to be discussing. All right. So first of all, let's start off with Carmen Stanley. Introduce yourself to our viewers.
Well, hello, I'm Carmen, and I guess I can start off with my sports career. It kind of started with my family.
Well, tell us who you are.
Tell us about me, myself.
Yeah, give us a little bit of your backstory.
Well, I'm 24. I went to school in Texas, SFA, Stephen Faulkner State University. You're going to see us in the tournament. Don't sleep on our boys. Sunshine got a nice jumper, for real. So I went there. I graduated in mass communications and TV productions, and I've been in D.C. for about 2 years now. And I've been loving it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Carmen. And Miss Tia.
Hello, and it's still Tia Somerville.
Okay, Tia Somerville. Oh, what Lewis is saying. Oh,
that's actually my biological dad's name. You know, Facebook with the change. I
all
had to change
right. Okay.
it ain't changed.
Okay.
But
Tell us a little bit about your backstory, if you will.
Okay, I'm Latia Somerville, and my grandfather was the track coach of the Chillum Striders and St. John's also. I'm born and raised in D.C., came up basically right up under my grandfather. He started the track team before I was born, so coming in at 5 years old where he already had it going, I kind of was his shadow. All of your games or, practices, anything, I was right behind him with you all, Heidi, Apple, Entree, everybody. So my passion for track came from him, and I ran up until the day he passed away.
All right. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us, but we're going to definitely get more into Mr. Somerville and why you came into track other than the obvious reasons. And Carmen, we want to get into reasons why you got into sports. I know why I got into it, and I guess you want to give your little 2 cents.
Yeah.
All
Is
right.
that my sense now?
No, not yet. All right. So, Carmen, you got into sports, but from what I understand, doing a little bit of research, you felt that the reasons why you got into sports were not always positive reasons. And usually when people talk about why they got into sports, they usually discuss, the many positives. Like it was because of maybe some older adult. It was just the passion that they had. But for you, it wasn't that way. Let's talk about that.
Well, for me, what basketball really started was with my family. So, like I was speaking before, I'm the youngest of all of my siblings, and everybody had their particular sport that they were in.
How many siblings?
I have 4 older siblings.
Okay.
So my oldest sister, she was basketball. That was her thing. My brother under her, football. Brother under him, football. Brother under him, football. And then it was time for me to come along. And my father is 6'3", so and my mother is 5'9". So when I was born, it was kind of just like, you're playing basketball. So I just paid it no mind. My mother kind of threw me into dancing because she didn't want me into sports. So when I had my growth spurt, it's when I noticed that my mother started taking me from dancing and started putting me into sports. So I was on my first basketball team when I was 13. It was fun, but I just felt like it was pressured on me. So when I got to high school, I finally got my own voice to say, hey, I'm not happy doing this. And I know that y'all want me to do it because it's going to help me to get a scholarship and it's going to help me to in life. But I feel pressured, and I felt like if I played, y'all was so proud of me, and if I didn't play, I wouldn't be proud of me. And so my family was like, no, if you're not happy, just stop, and we'll get you into something else. you just have to tell us. Well, we didn't know that you weren't happy when you were going to practice. Like I say, I spoke to your mother. I didn't mind going to practice, just that I didn't have that competitive in me to, like, if we lost, I would get so upset. If we lost, we lost. That's how it was for me. It wasn't like, this is, if we lose.
You was one of those.
Yeah, and since I realized, I just take myself away from the situation, right?
Were you good at it?
I mean, that really, I
Okay,
played my
we're good.
part. I wasn't one of those people who was like, oh, the team is just gonna lose without me. I knew my lane, and I stayed in it. Yeah,
You were very self-aware.
I was self-aware. Like, okay, yeah, I am coachable. I can do this. I can do that. But at the same time, I think it would be better to have somebody in my place who wants to be here wholeheartedly and doesn't feel like they're being pressured to do it. That's why I was just like, I'll just step
So
in.
it seems to me that it wasn't so much of a negative experience for you playing sports, being that you weren't, I guess, very much into sports because of your self-awareness.
Yeah.
As Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. And it seems like you were true to yourself.
Yes.
And to me, that's a very positive thing because, we're all different. We all can't be the same. So I would think you would be the type of person that, I as a coach, I could deal with on my team. I was a coach. I was hyper competitive. The worst thing you could do to me is if we lose the game, you sit there and laugh and talk as if nothing ever happened. I would be like, seriously? Are you? I remember I was doing a camp, and little boy said to me, "Is the only thing you care about is winning?" I said, "Yes, yes." Like, duh. I mean, knowing that, there are other things to life, but right now, right here, the only thing I care about is winning.
Yeah.
Kid was probably about 8 years old.
He had to learn.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you. Well, you can't. Now, like I said, your experience in life was a little bit different because you were kind of born into it. So for you, it was all you knew. Now, you said your grandfather did started the Chillum Striders with St. John's Chillum. I myself, the first year I went to St. John's Chillum, my 4th grade year was the year it actually started because it started out at St. John's Chillum, ran in the CYO leagues, and then it grew from there into the Chillum Striders. I remember practicing on the blacktop because we didn't have a track. We did not have a track. It was a while before we started practicing at Northwestern. So continue. So let's hear about your story and your reasons why.
The reason I started running is I would always be with my grandfather and my grandmother because my mother was always working. She started working at the post office, so if I had to sit in the house with my grandmother, I was a tomboy. No, I want to go to curl with Daddy. So he would take me to the practices once he got to Archbishop John Curl. So John Curl, I'd be in the weight room at 8 years old. They'd be lifting weights, and I'd be sneaking lifting weights with them. So just watching them run and me being active, tomboyish, he was like, look, you're not going to just keep coming sitting up here. You either going to run or you going to do something. So he started me off up curl with the Chillum Striders. First long jump. Long jump was my favorite. And even though I started with long jump, I went from long jump to 4x1s, 4x4s, 400s, 200, and gradually right before he passed, I was just starting long jump. No, excuse me, not long jump, the hurdles. So I was progressing, and I met so many of my friends being with the Chillum Strider. It was like, to us, it was a family. It wasn't just friends, because my Erin, she was born into it because her older brother, Timothy, and Kendra were running prior. So it just became like my life. Every summer, even sometimes during the winter, I was always running. And he kept saying before he passed away, well, with the long jump, I think you need to play basketball because that'll help your jumping and et cetera, et cetera. So once he passed away in July 1996, the year later, from my best friend, I started playing basketball after he died.
So for you, you would say your reason for getting into sports, it was always a positive experience. Like, that's something you always wanted to do because A, you were a tomboy, you wanted to be active, and B, you wanted to be around your grandfather.
and my friends, because like I said, it was so many of my friends coming who were born into the track field with me, so all of them became my second family.
Like, what else are you gonna do? I mean, your kid, what's your outlets? What's your outlets, Veronica? What are you gonna do? Go play some sports. Play an instrument.
I went for an instrument.
Well, let's
Go play some sports.
Well, let's hear your side of the story.
So hold on, for that, Carmen. So, you know, you made the decision to get out on your parents was trying to find something for you to do. So you were cool sitting in the house reading books and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, in dance practice, actually.
Dance practice.
She was like, well, you're going to do something since you ain't got no job, so you just can't be up in my house. I mean, you can get straight A's too, but you can do something else, so yes.
Now, you said they had you, they said once you stop playing basketball, you just find something else. What did you do with your time when you stopped playing basketball?
Actually, I became the manager for the varsity basketball girls team because I realized they didn't have one. They just got a new coach. She was just trying to get a nice, smooth conversation going on between the team and the girls and her, because, you know, it's rough when you got a new coach. Old coach left, we don't know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just trying to be there to smooth things over. So that's what I did. I was manager. I kept track of most of the time grades, punishments, who did this and who did that, who showed up to practice on time, who left, who did the 2-a-days, who did the 2 miles, things like that.
Do you enjoy that, like still being around the game, just didn't have to play it? You enjoyed that part?
Yeah, I did. To look on it, yeah, I did enjoy that.
Be
Cause
around the game.
yeah, for me, I was happy because they were happy, right? I didn't have that much of a thing like you said how you were competitive. That's how the new coach was. She did not like them laughing on the bus after they lost. She was like, "We just lost. Why y'all laughing?" I remember one of them going, "We hungry," and she was like, "Well, y'all should have been hungry out there in that court." And then, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being around them still, but I was content with not being in the game.
She sounds like Valerie.
Yeah.
You know how she was, because Valerie just ran so she could go to the trips.
That is another reason I ran.
That
is a great reason.
California,
We had
Valerie
so
just
much
stayed
photo
there
trips.
so she could do that.
And you ran because, like, parents pushed you there.
No,
try to give you
I came to them and said I wanted to do, because I didn't want to go to summer camp anymore.
You want to go to summer camp?
I hated summer camp.
So you wanted to
My
run.
bus trips were the best. So.
I wanted to go, and then I
always
liked
the
it because I could beat everybody in school. I was the fastest girl in school.
And I had to do it because y'all did it. Yeah, I did.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, I did. So what was I going to do? They couldn't leave me by myself.
No, it's because you went running behind us.
There was nothing else to do.
And then you retired.
You said you did it because you were good?
Yeah, I was the fastest
You
girl.
was the fastest in the school?
I was the fastest. I could beat every boy and girl.
High
Right.
five. I did it because I was good.
And then you retired.
Yeah, I was good in basketball, so I played basketball. I was good in track, so I did track. But I didn't want to do track even though I was good.
And you
How
retired.
did you do track? Didn't it hurt? Like, I was going to quit because it hurt. When I crossed the finish line, my legs hurt.
Yes, it does hurt, but when you win, you don't feel that pain.
That's a lie.
It hurt, right? It hurt.
Anything that you do, that you work hard at, is going to hurt.
It's
I
going
mean,
to hurt.
whether you
Basketball don't hurt.
Yeah, on the knees, if you do like the jump stop and you go
Since
up
when
for the
did
That's
layup.
starting to catch up with me now. I
Yeah,
played
the
basketball in
A
high
little
school.
bit. I mean, a little bit. It don't hurt like, you feel like I'm about to die. Your chest hurt, your legs hurt. When you cross the finish line, that 400,
yes,
man.
and you retired.
Yeah, I ain't want to do that no more.
You started at 3. By the time you were 6, you said, "Mommy, I'm
No,
retired."
I started at 6, and by the time I was 12.
That's when I stopped at 12.
You retired. Who retires at the age of 12?
Just
Well,
for that.
I'm sure he went to do another sport.
He said, "Mommy, I've been running half my life. I'm retired." Who does that? Anyway, okay, so we have it from both of you, your reasons for doing what you do. All right, in our next segment, we're going to get into some more reasons for what we do, what we do, why we do what we do. We're going to hear from the other gender perspective and things of that nature. But it's been a good conversation, so hopefully you're going to stick with us. All right, viewers, please stick with us, and we will be right back.
They said I have have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Hi, we're back here with the Veronica Harris Show, and we've been talking about the reasons why we do sports. Some of them positive and some of them not so positive. But I would say Carmen, she is a different breed because she is one of those athletes who was, or one of those individuals who was very self-aware. She knew exactly why she did the sport. She knew to stay in her lane, as you would say. So when she talked to her parents about not wanting to play sports anymore, you know, they were okay with it. They said, well, you know, all you have to do is let us know and we will continue to support you. We love you. You know, you're our Carmen. Yay, Carmen.
Yeah.
And then we have Miss T over here, who was practically born and raised into the sport of track and field through our coach, Mr. Charles in Somerville, who I credit along with my parents for helping me to get where I am today. And we have this wonderful book that she brought along. It was actually done by my mom. That was presented to your grandma when he unfortunately passed away. That has pictures of the team, and I mean, just looking back on all the memories when I look back and see like my first East Coast Invitational, to see how actually skinny I was. I mean, I am like such a stick. And I mean, I know you probably can't see and zoom in on this, but I mean, this is me right here. You get it? It is like hilarious. It is absolutely funny. And so there's other pictures in here that that really tell the story of not only what we accomplished, but the story of what your grandfather accomplished, because he really, you know, influenced a lot of young people. I mean, you can't even imagine. And look how young mommy looks.
That's mommy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yes. And then, you know, there's been Olympians that have passed through the program. I mean, when you look, that's daddy. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that looks like that.
Okay. I mean, just his words of wisdom. I mean, just everything. That's you.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
Yeah, you were cold-blooded.
1988.
You know what, though?
4.
You were 4. Okay, Cody was 10.
There's not many coaches like Mr. Somerville.
Anymore.
Now, a coach, you should know the sport, and you should have the kids' best interest in heart. And there's a lot of coaches out there that do have the kids' best interest in heart, but ain't that knowledgeable and are misguiding these kids, pushing these kids in different directions, wrong directions. I was the type of coach, my sisters would say, I would tell a kid to stop playing basketball. And I don't know, that ain't go across too good with a lot of people. Like, why are you supposed to encourage kids? It ain't for everybody. If they're not having fun, don't push them in there.
Yeah.
And I remember Somerville, I wanted to run the 100. He wouldn't let me run the 100. It wasn't a good fit for me. And you know, I see a lot of kids being misguided on the court, putting positions on the basketball court that they're not suitable to play. That's not going to work out for them at the next level. It might help them at this level. It might help this coach win games at this level. They're not really developing the kids. And you see some people have wrong motives in getting kids involved in sports.
Yeah.
If they don't like sports, try to find them other outlets.
Yeah.
And I have a girlfriend like that. She's actually the basketball coach at Northwestern right now for the girls. And I met her when I was 12 years old, playing basketball at Heisman Middle School. Her mom put her in because she was 6'4". And granted, me and her are best friends to this day. I love her to death, but she couldn't play for crap. When we got to Hyattsville, she didn't know. She just came from New York. Her family just moved from New York to Hyattsville, and her mother wanted her to do something, but she made it work for her. She went to go to Coppin, went play ball for Coppin, graduated from Coppin State, and now, like I said, is the basketball girls coach at Northwestern High School, Ashley Wilder. And look out, she's really good, and she pushes the girls like my grandfather pushed us. She's a very, very good coach. So I'm kind of proud of that because I do see some of his skills in her, and also from my other friend who is the football coach at Northwestern, Mr. Marcus Brown. So I think me growing up, knowing what a coach is supposed to be like, and you all coming to me about my dad and knowing how he was, I do see that in some of my friends who coach now. And I've actually thought about possibly coaching or trying to coach track, but I kind of don't know where I would start to redo that because he did a lot for us. But I would need some assistance with that. I don't know if that can be possible yet.
Well, I know one of the things that I've done, I recently stopped coaching boys track. I was a head boys track and field coach at my school where I teach at for over 10 years. And a lot of the things that I can say that I incorporated into my program came from your grandfather. As far as, working with kids, trying to find out who they work with. I do feel like Mr. Somerville did that at, in his own special way. And I do recall one of the most special things that I've ever done as a runner is after I won a pen relay watch. And you can't just get them. You got to win in order to get it. After I had given one each to a family member, I said the next one I get, I'm going to give to Mr. Somerville. And I won one. I think it was my junior year. By the time I had gotten to that next time where I could get one that I had freed up, and we were going down to ECACs, and I had my whole team had stopped over at my house, and I called Mr. Somerville over. I didn't even tell him what I was doing, but I presented him with that watch, and he was so happy. And that was the best thing I ever could do, because like I said, I would not have got to Seton Hall had it not been for your grandfather. I mean, from the time I was 9 years old, he was always there by my side, pushing me no matter what little thing I did. Even when I went away for a year and came back, he was always right there, supporting me just as much as, my mom or my dad and stuff like that. And he, helped my mom become a coach, and that's why she didn't know anything. But, he was always right there for the right reasons. And he wasn't afraid to discipline us either. I remember one time.
I ain't get beat.
He told us, at track practice, you weren't supposed to sit down there. And we kept sitting down or whatever. And he said, all right.
Run.
He made us run them steps at Carol. We ran them steps at Carol for oh my God, forever.
It's like suicide in basketball.
Yeah, he was not afraid to discipline us, but he wasn't afraid to. He was quiet, but he wasn't afraid to praise us as well. But I mean, so that's why it made me want to keep staying, because even though I got into it for my own reasons, it helped me to stay where I was.
I think he wanted the best for everybody on the track team. Because even when he was living, when Derek Mills was older, he would still contact him, call him, see how he was doing. That much with everybody.
Yes, he did.
I'm over here thinking.
Oh, Lord. Yes.
As a parent, and Carmen, your parents push you into sports. You should push your kids into something. How do you know when it's pushing, too much pushing, not enough pushing? I mean, how you find that line at?
Well, I believe that parents know who their children are, right? So certain things that your mother did for you, she didn't have to do for you, because that was just instilled in you, and vice versa. So that's how I feel. I think they just realized that I was just walking to my own drum, and that they would say that I am spoiled. I do get my way. I was just walking to my own drum. Right? Yeah, I was the baby. I was just walking to my own drum, and I guess they just realized she's just different. She don't do that. I don't. And once I put my mind to something, that's it. It takes a lot to get my mind off of that. So I think my parents realized, hey, we don't need to push her too hard, because then if we push her too hard, she just turn right away from it. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Because, you know, I got a son right now. And,
Well, you have a daughter too.
and a daughter. But right now I'm talking about my son. 10th grade. And my motivation, and my parents, did they tell you you got to get a scholarship?
No, I told them.
You told them. Well, they had told me, you know, best way to get for me to get to school would have been a scholarship. And, you know, at 18, you're leaving the house one way or the other.
Yeah, that's what they've always
So,
said.
you know, try to go to college is the best way to get a scholarship. So, you know, I kind of would like to see that happen for my son. And, you know, he's okay in sports, decent athlete, but he doesn't love it. He doesn't love it like, you know, you loved it. Like he don't come say, Dad, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. You know, he says he want to play football, but he don't want to try out till August. Of course, you got spring training and all that.
And then summer training.
So I say, you know, I'm not going to push him in, you know, do what he want to do. And my wife's like, no, you push him in there. Make him do it.
Especially if he said it, if he wanted to do it.
How you feel about it?
Well,
You were the one that didn't have to get pushed, though, right?
no, see, that's the thing. I didn't have to get pushed, and you didn't have to get pushed because, like I said, you kind of had to come with us because, like you said, you couldn't stay home, and then you naturally just, like, if we were running, you ran. No, mommy didn't make you run. You just did it.
No, she made me.
No.
I was cool running in the bleachers. She was like, no, you got to run on the track.
No, but I remember one
Like,
time.
Mom, that's not my age group out there. Get out there.
No, I remember one time I came for a track meet and I went running around the neighborhood. Nobody told you to follow me. You went following on your own, and you beat me home. And you was doing jumping jacks by the time I got home. So that's what I'm saying. You did stuff on your own. A lot of things were just natural to you. Like, you were a straight A student. Like, you had the ability to get an academic scholarship as well as an athletic scholarship. See what I'm saying?
I mean, am I pushing it not hard enough? We get back to the. Am I pushing hard enough or don't push too hard? What are you talking about?
It's hard for me to say because a lot of things were just natural in our house. To me, you either you gonna do it or you're not. You either want it or you don't. Shouldn't
Then you
have to be
ask 'em.
pushed.
I say ask them, sit them down and say, hey, you said you want to play football, but in order to get where you need to be and be good, you have to prepare yourself. Do you want to prepare yourself? And see what he says, because if he don't, that'll show you if he has the passion or he doesn't. So.
And that's where we're gonna have to leave it.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to figure out the rest for yourself.
And normally at this time is what's Veronica's thinking. But today is going to be what's Gregory's thinking. And today, ladies, I'm thinking it's about balance. You got to find a happy medium. Too much of anything is bad for you.
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation, that's what I mean. So people don't know, if you drink too much water, that'll kill you. All right? So in dealing with your children, dealing with sports,
Preach.
dealing with everything,
Well.
you gotta find that happy medium, that balance.
Church.
How to do that, I haven't found that out yet. How do you find the balance? You don't find the balance.
Find the balance through prayer and meditation.
Good answer, good answer, good answer. So this closes out the show. This is the Veronica Harris show. I'm just the co-host, but she didn't want to talk about what she was thinking, so I jumped on in there. And again, we have the lovely Carmen, the lovely Tia, and see y'all next time.
And thank you for joining us.